So by now, I think everybody's heard the news that Clair Obscur Expedition 33 absolutely cleaned up at the Game Awards, taking home Game of the Year, as well as a total of 9 awards. So if you didn't know, Clair Obscur won more awards than any other game in the Game Awards history at 9 awards. So absolutely cleaned up, knocked it out of the park. So I wanted to come on, share my thoughts on the game. What did I think about the game back when I played it at launch? And discuss, does it deserve all the awards it won? Does it deserve Game of the Year? So let's jump right into it and let's go back to the launch of the game here and talk a little bit about that. So I myself, like a lot of you I'm sure, weren't aware much about Clair Obscur when it came out, so I was caught off guard by the release, wasn't anticipating it, wasn't really even on my radar, and then this game hit the internet like a storm, and everybody started ranting and raving about it, talking about how good it was, and eventually, that caught my ear. I looked into the game, and when I found out it was turn-based combat and people are saying it's one of the best turn-based combat games we've gotten in a long time, I knew I had to pick it up. So eventually I went out, tried to get a physical copy, couldn't find one, and had to buy a digital copy of the game. And this game was really hard to get a physical copy. Once, the secret was out and it hit the internet, I tried. I could not get a physical copy for the life of me, so I had to get a digital copy. And once I got the digital copy, played all the way through the game and absolutely loved it. So I want to go in, talk a little bit about the game and my initial thoughts. So the first thing that really pulled me into this game was the story. And the story was very unique. The story of the Paintress, the expeditions, every year, people dying, the countdown happening. And my first thoughts once I got into the story was like, wow, this is an awesome story. I actually thought this could have been like a movie level script because it was so intriguing. It really pulled you in. It really made you want to know what's going on in this world. And I remember even telling my wife as she walked by about the basic story, early on at the beginning of the game. And as I'd be playing the game, she'd come walking by and she'd be asking me more about the story. Have I made it to the Paintress yet? Why are people dying, etc., etc. And even she got pulled into the story aspect of the game without even playing the game. So that doesn't happen much. And I think that's a testament to how good the story was in this game. And on that note of the story, the characters were really intriguing. The character development was really good. Just everything aligned there to keep my attention as I played throughout this game. So gotta tip my hat to Sandfall Interactive on the story in this game. And on that note of the story, one of the little things I loved about this game was as you're progressing through the world, you're finding past expedition groups that didn't make it. You're finding their journals and you're getting a little bit of lore. You're learning a bit what happened to them. And I just love that part of the game. I was trying to get all the journals I could as I got through the game. And things like that really kept me in it, really kept me intrigued. So I just wanted to call that out as one of the things I really loved about this game and the story. But so let's talk a little bit now about, the gameplay and the combat. And of course, as I mentioned, this is a turn-based combat game, but it's not your basic turn-based combat. And that's why this game thrived, is because they kept it old, but they kept it new, right? They kept it interesting. They added in, the dodge mechanic, the parry mechanic. You have your ability to fire your gun. So just a lot of interesting little details they added to the turn-based combat. And the combat throughout the game, again, was so interesting, so fun, really kept me in it. And I think another reason why this game was so well received and why people really like the combat was the difficulty. I don't hear people talk about it too much, but I think they got the difficulty absolutely right in this game, especially as you get farther into the game and you get more into the open world. There's some really hard battles in this game. And I think these days, that's what people want, is that difficulty, right? Really coming off of Souls games. Like, look at Elden Ring, how well that did and how difficult the game is. People want difficult games, people want difficult combat, and I think Clair Obscur Expedition 33 delivered there. Not to say it's the hardest game, not to say the combat is the hardest, but it was difficult, and if you want some hard fights, you can definitely find them, especially later on in the game as you progress, as you get to more of that open world. So, gotta tip my hat to the combat. And on the note of the combat, another aspect that I really loved in this game was the pictos, all the different pictos you can find, how you can modify your characters, your combats, your buffs, your abilities using pictos. I thought that was super interesting. And I think the reason why that shined as well was because of how many pictos they had in the game. There was a lot. I spent a lot of time changing the pictos for my characters, trying different combinations, trying new things, getting new ones. And I thought that was really interesting, really fun. So, another reason why I think this game was really well received and why the combat was so good. But moving away from the combat, we got to talk a little bit about the music because the music in this game was awesome. I really enjoyed the music, so much so that I even pre ordered the vinyl for this game because the music was just so different, so interesting, right? And we got to talk about the cohesive theme of this game being French because that's a huge aspect to the game that ties into the look of the world, the music, the characters, their mannerisms, characters like Esky. And that French theme really came together well, and I think it offered something new that we don't usually see. And I think that's another reason why the game did so well and was so well received because, of course, Sandfall Interactive is a French group, French development team. So they kept this game French themed. And they did it well. They did it really well. So you got to tip your hat to them for coming out, doing something unique, staying true to their own culture and just making a great game because I love the buildings, the architecture in this game. I love the characters. I love that French theme. I'm not French. I just thought it was really interesting to go in that direction, do something new, all the way down to the way that the music sounded. It was just so authentic. And I think that's actually a great word to sum up this game is authentic, right? The vibe, the feel, everything about it was authentic. You can tell the developers made a game that they loved, that they wanted to make. They weren't trying to appease the world. And I think when it was released, people saw that authenticity and just loved the game, myself included. So, had to say, I definitely think it's an authentic experience, an authentic game. So, gotta tip my hat to Sandfall Interactive. They say it was a very small team that built this game in the 30s of people. I don't know how true that is, but regardless, it's a great game. So in conclusion, I definitely think that this game deserves everything it got, all the awards it won. I think it deserved it. I definitely think it was Game of the Year as well, if not one of the best games of the year. So I think it's hard to debate whether it deserved to win or not. Honestly, there's other great games, of course, but Clair Obscur was right up there. So I don't think it's a big surprise that it won. And I'm just so happy to see how many awards it won because it just goes to show to all the other developers out there that turn-based combat, turn-based games aren't dead. Fans still want them, fans still love them, myself included. So that's what I'm most happy about seeing Clair Obscur win. And I really hope that more developers pick up on this, see how well it did, and start considering more turn based combat, especially games like Final Fantasy, the franchise Final Fantasy that's moved away from turn based combat. I'd love to see it come back to its roots one day, so hopefully we see that. But I want to ask you guys, do you think Clair Obscur deserved to win all the awards it won? Do you think it was Game of the Year? Drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. And also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe for more. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed and have a good day.